What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel, and for today's video we're going to be going over Xiao team comps. Now this video is not going to be a extreme in-depth video with the characters and how they necessarily help Xiao as a whole. As of right now, I am on vacation, so in the start of November, the first week, I will start making videos for each character and how they support Xiao in the format of how blank character helps Xiao. Now, with that being said, we're using Genshin.cc today. This just because it gives you more of a visual idea of how a team comp can be formed. So I'm gonna give you guys the base idea of a Xiao team comp. You guys can do that with like how you will. At the end of the day, you're gonna build your team. How you're gonna build your team. I'm just suggesting the best way to play Xiao. For me, necessarily, when I played him in CBT. So, for Xiao, a lot of people have asked me about the healers for Xiao. So, regarding healers, you can obviously go Bennett, Jean, Chi-Chi, and Barbara. Now, obviously, you want a healer on your team. And for me, I'm going to pick Barbara. Now, with Barbara gives Xiao not only healing with the E, but stamina consumption reduce. So it allows Xiao to use his charge attack more when he's using elemental burst for overall more damage, obviously. Not only that, her E applies the hydro status onto the enemy. And then when Xiao's elemental burst is used, then he jumps up in the air. Obviously, use your charge attack. It's a Nemo damage, so it procs Swirl. Now, the other healers, just keep it nice and short, because like I said, I'm going to go into each character individually in their own videos. For Jean, you can go Jean if you have Jean and you really like Jean. And let's say you want to use Jean. Let's say you have Jean as like a secondary DPS, right? And but she still obviously heals really good. You can still go Jean. You're relying on animal buff instead of the Barbara E for stamina consumption. For this case, you only have 15% reduce, but at least you get movement speed plus 10% and skill CD by plus 5%. So that's good. Movement speed will help Xiao kill off the other enemies that are like, let's say you're not really the best at mobbing enemies, like really gathering them. This will help you with the movement speed along with his E, which gives him nice mobility. You'll be able to hit other enemies that you're not really able to gather around. Now, the other healers like Chi-Chi and Bennett, I'm not really going to talk too much about them, but I'm keeping it short. Chi-Chi I feel can really be good maybe if it's like a boss, because Chi-Chi with her elemental burst obviously will proc the talisman on the boss. Xiao deals a lot of damage, but this time he won't really be taking as much damage because he's just healing it off because of damage that he gets from Chi-Chi elemental burst. Now for Bennett, Bennett the aka the Luke copy. Not really the Luke copy, but that's just a joke because Bennett is actually really strong, which is kind of surprising to me that he's really not a 5-star. But Bennett, he can be useful as a healer if you decide to build him that way for Xiao, and his elemental burst would come in handy to proc a area of effect for Pyro to allow Xiao to use his elemental burst. Now we're done with the healers. Then the day you can pick whatever you want, or you can wait for my videos to come out regarding each healer and each character for Xiao. So with that being said, let's say in my case I'm going Barbara. All right, what do I really want here after Barbara? I have a healer that helps me proc Hydro, and then when I jump up in the air, I go up, come down, proc Swirl. After that, you kind of just want to think about what can really apply a elemental reaction over a area of effective enemies. So what I exactly mean by that depends on gameplay, because some people with mobs, they like to gather them around and proc a element onto them, so it's easier for Xiao to get his max amount of damage with Swirl onto that one mob. Some people are fine with, let's say, like Oz, and Oz only hits one enemy, and Xiao just jumps up, hits the one enemy, and then goes around and hits another enemy. But in my opinion, things that can really help Xiao out, let's say you want Beidou, right? Beidou, her elemental burst procs. Well, her elemental burst brings a like bubble around her, right? That has electro damage. You switch that onto Xiao, that will proc Swirl, and it's like sticking onto him, so it's reliable. So if you had a team comp like this would be fine, because you have two skills that stick onto Xiao that will help him apply damage. Now, let's say you wanted someone else that doesn't really stick onto him, right? Like, say you had Klee, right? Klee works as well, because not only does this combination work really well, Klee will proc Pyro with Beidou. So the thing is that with Xiao, right? Xiao, you're going to use Xiao as a main DPS, right? But the thing is that it's good to have other elemental reactions within your team, because when Xiao does not have an elemental burst, you still want to build up energy for Xiao to go in again. So a team like Klee, and let's say you had Klee and Fischl, right? Or Xiangling and Fischl, right? You can use that team to gather up energy for Xiao, for him to use his elemental burst a lot more faster, which is like pretty much the core gameplay of Xiao, I believe, to be at hand, unless you build Xiao with energy recharge, so you don't really have to worry about swapping out to get elemental reactions for energy. But if you're not going to do that, you can build them up on attack, crit damage. I feel like this would be really essential for elemental reactions. Let's say, but like at the end of the day, you really just want area of effect, just to make a large scale, just to help out Xiao proc Swirl onto more enemies, so he's able to get that maximum damage. So, you know, I'm just gonna give you guys examples here. Just right off the bat, Xingque elemental burst, Q procs onto Xiao, Xiao attacks, the swords hit, proc Hydro, Xiao jumps in the air, proc Swirl. Xiangling, thing is with Xiangling is that the Q pushes away enemies, can be really annoying for you. Depends if you can handle that type of gameplay. Venti, Q brings in the enemies, really good. The issue with gathering enemies with like Sucrose and Venti is that they're gathering already procs the Anemo, and the issue with this is that if you're not careful and you proc it with another element, that element will get erased, and then you'll just be doing no swirl damage with Xiao. So what do I mean by that? So you use Sucrose and you proc the E onto enemies that has Pyro. Now that elemental reaction has been casted, now it is gone. So it's really good to have Venti and Sucrose, but you want to be careful when proccing Swirl. Now you also could just not care, just dive in, just go crazy, and just hope that you get the Swirl chance with Xiao. That's totally up to you. But yeah, at the end of the day, that's really what I believe you should be looking for in a team comp with Xiao. Go one healer. I prefer Barbara or Jean, because Barbara gives stamina consumption reduce, and Jean, you are relying on Anemo, but you can use Jean as a secondary DPS to give time for Xiao to give his elemental burst. And then besides the healer, you just go someone with an area effect, elemental skill. And Razor as well. Razor can work as well. But that's pretty much really what you want to go for, because as long as you're able to cast a lot, then you'll get that benefit back from Swirl. Now this really only this gameplay can really only apply to a Nemo set, which I do recommend for Xiao. If you were to go like Bloodstained or let's say Gladiator, you don't really have to worry about elemental reactions as much, I would say, because you're not getting that increased 60% swirl damage. You're not getting that increase of swirl damage. Like, let's say you were going the set with the shield effect, and then when you have a shield onto you, you get increased charge attack damage, retracing, right? You don't really need to worry about elemental reactions as much because you're not relying on it for the Anemo set. So this is a case whereas if you didn't want a Nemo set because you don't really want to rely on elemental reactions, then maybe it's not the best for you. But I'm telling you, elemental reactions will help you do more damage. It's something that, is like kind of noticed within the game. If you proc elemental reactions, you're going to get more out of it. Now, at the beginning of the game, you go attack percent and you're just hitting things, you're doing damage, right? But later on, you're going to realize that elemental reactions matter and you'll get a lot more benefit from that. And remember, an Nemo set not only has the 75% increased damage, but you'll also get the 40% res, the resistance reduction onto the enemy, which will take even more damage. So you really want to utilize that set if you can. You don't have to, like I said, it's your game, but I feel like that is essential for Xiao. Now, with that being said, I'm going to end the video off right here. If you guys did like this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what team comps you're essentially looking for Xiao. You can still ask me about team comps in the comment section of this video, and I will answer most likely my opinion on it. Remember, I am uploading character guides on whether they are good for Xiao or not. First week of November when I am back. You can join my Discord first thing in the description. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys later.